Hey everybody, it's Shooter FPV, and today I have the DJI Avata. It's been, I guess, pretty popular for the past couple of months, and actually just recently because of the firmware upgrades it had, activating remote ID, having you to plug in your phone to fly with it. But today we're going to do something different. I didn't actually upgrade my firmware because I don't want to go through the thing with the phone. I don't care about remote ID. The upgrades don't really affect me anyway. I'm not doing any kind of production work, so 10-bit color, I mean, it's cool, but I don't really need it, so I'm not going to go through it. So what we're going to do today, though, is a couple of weeks ago, I made the mistake of flying this while I was sick and in about 25-mile-an-hour winds, and I happened to bounce off of some bleachers in a ball field. And I'll give you the close-up when I get to the bench, but I got some damage here and it's scuffed a little bit. And actually this morning, I kind of crashed it a little bit. I was showing somebody at my work about it and everything. He was going to buy one, and I happened to hit the wrong switch and it kind of went crazy, so I actually scuffed it about here, but luckily that's all. So what we're going to do today, though, is I'm actually going to replace this, what's called the upper frame. You can get it for $19. It's really cheap, and it's a very simple 6 screws on the bottom, 2 screws here, but we'll go over that when I get on the bench. But it's a very simple replacement. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the bench. I'm going to open the box. We'll show you what's going on, and we will get it replaced. So let's head over to the bench. All right, so let me show you the damage that I had done. So you can see right here all the way across, this is when I hit the bleachers in the ball field, and this morning I kind of went bouncing around the floor with some chairs and stuff and got that kind of damaged a bit. So I like to keep my things neat. I don't really have to replace this. It's still good. I mean, it's still sturdy. It keeps the battery in, so there's really no issues, but I'm going to replace it anyway. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open the box first and see what's inside. So in the box we have instructions. Who needs instructions? So what we got is, the brand new one. And we got a bag of screws. It's nice that they give you replacements. I'm not really going to use them. I'm just going to use the originals because they're just there. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably hold on to these as spares just in case. So the way that we remove this is we have 2 screws up top. We have this screw here, one on the other side, and then we have 6 on the bottom. And you can keep the props on because you can kind of go between the props, so that's not a problem. You can take them off if you want, if it's easier, but I'm just going to leave them on. I really don't care. So we have 2 screws up top. We have, well, actually 4 if you count both sides, but we got 1 screw here. We got 1 screw here. Then on the other side we have, the same thing, 1 here and 1 here. And then in the back we have 2 screws, if I can get the light right. 1 here and 1 here. And they are 1.5. So what you do is just grab your 1.5 driver. And now I'm pretty sure that these upper screws are longer, so we want to keep these ones separate. We don't want to mix them up. I mean, you'll probably see the size difference anyway, but I like to keep them separate. If I know that they are different sizes, I will keep them separate. So let's do that one. Let's do this. Hope you guys are trying to get some kind of flying in. I know it's the winter time, at least up in the States anyways. It's getting pretty darn cold. But I fly anyway, as long as it's not super windy, because then my hands will freeze. But other than that, it doesn't really matter to me. I'll still fly anyway. And hopefully with this Avata, I can get some good snow stuff this winter. Just kind of cruising over snow and stuff like that. The camera on this thing is absolutely fantastic. The rock steady stabilization that comes standard on it is crazy good. I got a bunch of videos. Actually, this is the only thing I've been flying for the past like month. I'm almost forgotten how to fly my other stuff, but that's all right. So there we go. So we got the 6 bottom screws, and then what we'll do is we will do the 2 side screws. The 2 side screws hold in the GPS unit here, so there's no you're not going to be hitting the camera at all because the camera's kind of mounted on the bottom here. So the frame goes around the camera anyway. So let's get. Oh, actually, yeah. See, I was wrong though. They're shorter than the other ones. So we're going to keep that one separate, and we're going to keep this one separate. So that was my bad. I thought that they were longer, but they're actually shorter. So let's. I hate when they get to the end and you can't get them out. Come on. Ah, you stinker. All right, let's see if we can kind of finagle that. Hey, no, yeah, there we go. It just kind of fell right into the other ones. There it is. All right. So now, from what I had seen, this is kind of a tight fit. So what we're going to do is we're going to carefully... Oh, actually, no, it's actually not that tight. And we're going to pull this up. I always like to be careful because you don't want to just start ripping it apart and going... Ah! So see, there you go. So see, this is the old one. And it kind of looks weird with this just hanging around. But you can kind of get a sense of what's going on in here. I mean, this is how the GPS is supported. If you can see that, that's pretty cool. And the camera's by itself on the rubbers here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So that was pretty easy to get this old one off. So now all we're going to do is we're going to take this one, and you can see the screw holes and everything. So you want to kind of line them up and make sure that this hole lines up there. I mean, it should be a pretty simple snap together. You still just want to be careful because you don't want to start squishing stuff. So yeah, so see, look at that. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 2 small screws for the GPS unit. And we're going to just... Yeah, did it not line up? Ah, see? See, there you go. So it didn't snap in. Oh, plus it moves a little bit. So there we go. So look, that looks like it's lined up pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to screw them very tight yet. I want to make sure that everything kind of fits together pretty well before I tighten everything up. And we're going to just move this around so I can... There we go. So see, that's kind of lined up right there. And I'm going to loosen a little bit. So there we go. So we got the GPS unit. Get that there. So now, and what makes this easy too is that this is magnetized. So I can kind of do this and just dive them right in. So we're going to do this one here. And I'm going to keep it a little loose. And let's move this prop out of the way. We're going to get the second one. Again, keep it a little loose. If you're on the fence about getting the Avata, and if you can swing it, it's actually a really nice unit. You can go full manual like FPV. You can go... I don't know what's the opposite of manual, unmanual, automatic, I guess, to do anything you really want with it. So I mean, it's as simple or as easy. Simple or as easy. Jeez, what am I, an idiot? It's as simple or hard as it can be. You know, you can go full manual, which is what I do, or you can do automatic, and it'll land for you. It'll hover. It actually gets satellite locks like regular DJI stuff, like the Mavics and all that. So, all right, so we got one more screw left. And we will put that in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start tightening these up, because I know, and another, with plastic, don't go super tight, because you don't really need to. You don't really like need to torque it down like so it'll never ever get unscrewed. But just make sure it's tight. And again, you can do this with the props on or off. I just figured I'd leave them on. So there we go. So I'm just gonna give them another quarter turn. Oops, wrong one. There we go. There we go. Another one here. Here. So yeah, and now we got the GPS screws. So let's do that. Tighten that up a little there. Again, not getting it too tight, because you don't want to strip, you don't want to crack the plastic, which you might not, but you never know. And there you go. I don't have a battery within reach, unfortunately, so but I know it's going to work. But there it is. Perfect fit. All ready to be scuffed up again, because I know I'll probably screw something up. But that's it. That is the replacement of the upper frame of the Avata. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you learned something. And as I always say, rip some packs, have some fun, and we will see you next time.